everyone, so today I'm here to talk about water moons, particularly Scorpio moons. You can find out your moon sign if you check a birth chart calculator. You can Google it, you can check out astrotheme.com, but the moon is the emotion. A moon is the unconscious side of a person. The moon is already in an intense position because that's how you feel about things, but when it's in Scorpio, this can be a really difficult position for the moon. Your moon sign can reflect how you experience emotion, how you perceive the world. Your close friends or family members might know the characteristic of your moon sign. Scorpio sun signs are usually born October 23rd to November 21st, but the moon sign just has a characteristic of somebody who was born during that time. So when we think about October 23rd to November 21st, the leaves start to fall off the trees and the flowers die, and this is because it's nearing winter, so the earth tends to look bare. People who have their moon sign feel like this all the time, and they think like this too. When the earth is bare, it's raw, so people like this will dig and dig until they find the truth for something. They can have a very probing ability where they want to get to the bottom of the truth much more than pretty side, because they know that that's all superficial. Basically, they know that everything in this world doesn't matter. They care about authenticity. They like to find what's concealed underneath, and this applies in every aspect of their life. So, and anything with work, relationships, friendships. They can make good therapists. They do understand the hidden side of human nature. Absolutely test people because they want to see how genuine you are about things. Because of this, they tend to have fewer friends in their lifetime. They don't really trust too many people to begin with. They can be obsessed about a lot of things. Because of this obsession, they never half-ass anything. They'll do it completely, thoroughly, much more than a Virgo would. Because I know Virgos are very structured, they're very ordered about things, but Scorpio moons, because of their obsessive nature, they'll tend to overdo things very naturally, and they can do it to perfection. That's not really their goal. Perfection is not Scorpio moon's goal, but it ends up getting close to that point because they overdo. They tend to be sensitive and emotional, and when I mean sensitive and emotional, I'm just talking about the fact that they're sensitive to their environment. This is not a weak sign as a Scorpio moon. If they're in school and if they're being yelled at for anything or made fun of, you'll never see a tear in their eye. They just take it in. They're like sponges. So a lot of people think they're moody and that they're very changeable with their moods. They usually pick up what's in the environment. If somebody is being rude, they'll be very standoffish, very quiet, very distant, maybe compared to who they really are if they're comfortable. And this gets misinterpreted all the time as being fake, but they're not being fake. They're concealing who they are to you because they don't trust you. It doesn't mean they're putting up a front. They're not trying to act. They're actually just hiding. Hiding is a very key word with this sign. They pick up on the environment and vibes around them, and they reflect them. Not like they're mimicking you, but they just reflect how they feel once you interact with them. Because of this reserved nature, they look very calm on the surface. They will appear very almost poker-faced. Because of this receptivity, they can take on a lot of baggage because they feel everything. It's like a Tempur-Pedic bed. You know how, I'm sure everybody knows, when you press your hand against a Tempur-Pedic bed and you see the impression of your hand. Well, for Scorpios, that impression never really goes away, like ever. They have a greater understanding of things that exist, even if it's not happening to them. So a lot of Scorpio moons can actually be very spiritual in a sense. Not that they won't work and buy nice things, but really, that's not really where their joy comes from, anything worldly. So because of this understanding that there's something out there, they understand emotion even if they're not feeling it. I'll give you an example. If somebody had like an air sign moon, it doesn't matter to them because air sign moons usually deal with the problem that's in front of them, not with something that they cannot see, that's beyond their vision, because it is at the surface level. There's a lightness to air moons, but Scorpio moons, they make great therapists because they can bring the hidden side of human nature up. They don't necessarily have to experience something to know that something is there. They know exactly when you're lying. It's like they have a file cabinet up in their head, and everything that you said, it's stored there. They remember everything. So when you say something and it doesn't match up with what they saved in their head like years ago, they know you're lying. They know that people won't tell the truth to get out of something. People will make up excuses, but Scorpio moons know exactly that they're lying because they're able to pick up on inconsistent patterns. They know that if you lie in this particular area of your life, you are going to do it in every other area. They just know that you have that in you, so you will do it in other areas. They can also make really great police detectives because of this as well. If you were talking to a Scorpio moon about somebody else who you don't like, a Scorpio moon will know that if you're able to talk about somebody to them, you're able to talk about them to somebody else. So they pick up on that pattern, and they know that they're not the exception, so they'll know it immediately, and they'll be like, this person has the ability, they could screw me over at any time. At the same time, they put themselves in a like paranoia type of situation. Oh, the worst is going to happen to me. Like, they tend to think that also, but they know things about you that you just happen to not even really realize, because everything that you do is just like natural. It's just mundane for you. But if they pick it up, you'll be kind of like, whoa, they really noticed this? I didn't even know I did that. Scorpio moons will retreat. They don't bring up any situation to the person that's bothering them. They feel like if they bring it up to somebody that bothers them, people are going to justify their actions and everything, so that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear you own up to it. They want like justice, because for them, they don't blatantly lie. They don't voluntarily share information. They'll hide it. That doesn't mean they're lying, that just means they're concealing everything. But if you ask them for their honest opinion, they're going to give it to you. So when you do something that bothers them, they want you to fess up, but they kind of feel like this person thinks too highly of themselves that they won't say sorry. So they just keep it locked in because they don't think you can understand. They care about profound statements and important stuff, but they don't voluntarily share that because they don't think people get it. So that's why Scorpio moons usually get the rep for being so quiet. They're not the most social. Scorpio suns are a little bit different. Scorpio suns are more, they know where to say things and when to say things. Because for Scorpio suns, it's about mental calculation, but Scorpio moons, it's about instinct, it's about feeling. So they actually don't know how to direct their energy at all. They can feel the world is ending just by sitting in the room and talking themselves into it. They would like to do anything to avoid a therapy session with themselves, because they are so, I think that's where their analytical nature comes from, because they scare themselves, actually. So what they do is they like observing others, they like analyzing others. If they were secure with themselves, unafraid of the outside world, they would have no reason to analyze people. They would rather feel than not feel. But that feeling has to be intense. They know how to feel happiness at such an intense level, as well as depression at such an intense level. There is no, this is completely opposite of Libra, actually. You're either with me or against me. You either love me or you hate me. Downside is they can be the cause of their own doom, because all the energy that they have in them, like if you think about the Scorpio sting, it's like a boomerang, right? They'll hurt everybody else, but in the process they kill themselves. They'll never show affection just to pretend. They has to mean it, and they want you to mean it too. It's never for show. They're not angry, they're just really intense with a view or an opinion. When they say it, people think that they're pissed off, but they're not. It annoys them when you don't feel it at their level, even if you have your own opinion, and yours is just like, yep, it's whatever. They don't like that statement because they're like, no, it can't be whatever. There has to be a reason. They want to know everything about you, but they don't really want you to know everything about them. That's why they take forever to get to know somebody, or take forever to be comfortable with somebody. But once you're with them, they're like there forever. Scorpio's a fixed sign. It's all about permanency. You're either completely out of their life or you're completely in. Because they never give people second chances. They'll give you the benefit of the doubt if they don't know you. That's why they want people to put their cards up first. But after you screw with them, they don't give people who screwed them over second chances. That does not exist in their world at all. A lot of people can be scared of this because it is so intense. They're scared of what you could possibly do to them. See, Scorpios, it's a water sign. So even if they like to go out, even if they like to have fun, they still like to hide in under their little rock. They like to be at home. If you're their friend, you yourself probably don't really know what they do at home. You don't really know what they do for fun. Unless you share the same depth, they won't tell you. You will actually know very little about their family life or home life. And family life is considered private. These people like private things. They like private hobbies. They have very little tolerance for mediocrity. But they have an amazing ability to focus. Focus on one thing for a long, long time. And they can be really great at work or even at school because their concentration doesn't break. They want to know everything, they want to feel everything. They can focus on things for a long period of time. And if you know what I'm talking about, this can make it very fun in relationships. They can handle things for a very long time. If you're in a relationship with one, they may not like everybody knowing their business. It's not that they don't want to show you off in a way, but it's not like they'll take 100 pictures of their significant other and post it online. In fact, that's very opposite. That's a very fire sign thing to do. But Scorpio moons, they don't feel anybody has to know because that's their private life, you know. And it's not that they're embarrassed; they're proud of it, but they don't want people, because they feel like they're only doing it for show and they hate fake stuff. This can be a really difficult position for the moon, but it can be an amazing one too. They can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So that was my analysis with Moon and Scorpio. So until next time.